So hello, my name is Yuko and I'm the commercial team lead here at Darktrace. I'd like to thank everyone for making time for this session today. I'd like to introduce you to Darktrace award-winning cyber AI technology. Darktrace invented AI for cyber defense, and at first, using AI was seen as a radical approach to take, but of course today, it is widely accepted as the necessity in defending against cyber attacks. Critically, we invented AI that not only detects, but also automatically respond to threats that other approaches fail to identify. Our core immune system technology was inspired by our body's own approach to dealing with previously unseen attacks. We accepted that every now and then bacterials and viruses are going to enter our body and attack us, and the human immune system is able to protect us from these threats because of its knowledge of self. That means that it has a way of understanding what's us and what's not us, and from there it can mount defensive action that enable us to fight back and recover. So this evolving sense of self is at the core of Darktrace approach. Our technology learns you the DNA of your business. And from this unique knowledge that what is normal and what is abnormal, that Darktrace AI can flag anything anomalous as soon as it occurs. Because Darktrace learns on the job, it does not need to have any prior knowledge, and it is continuously learning, identifying changes in your environment, which you would otherwise be unable to see. And this approach means all types of threats are caught, from novel malware to low and slow attacks, insider threats, and sophisticated email impersonation attack. And all of this is done at machine speed. Without further ado, let's jump into the threat visualizer demo and see Darktrace in action. So as you can see on the screen, this is the Darktrace award-winning threat visualizer, which provides a three-dimensional view inside your corporate's network. And it is very easy to deploy, incredibly intuitive to use, and provides new level of visibility and real-time insights into your network security. It's been used by leading security teams and CISOs around the world, and the threat visualizer was designed to allow security teams to rapidly identify and prioritize emerging threats within just a few clicks of the mouse to take actions immediately. All right. So I'm just going to introduce to you some of the key features on the threat visualizer. First of all, whenever I open up the threat visualizer, people will be very excited about it by the design and the looks of it. So Darktrace purposefully designed the threat visualizer in a very sleek and modern manner because we want people to get excited. It is very interactive, and we want people of all different maturity levels to be able to use it as well. So you could be a business executive like me, or you could be an IT expert or cybersecurity expert. It really doesn't matter because you will be able to navigate through this threat visualizer easily without much training. All right, so first of all, the global map in the middle over here, just by one glance, you can actually identify that this is a global company because of the various cubes around the globe. So each cube represents a Darktrace deployment. And also just by one glance, you would know how healthy or are there any anomalous activities going on within just by looking at the colors of the cube. So the cooler colors like blue, turquoise, or purple tells you that it's healthy. And those that you want to keep a lookout on is those yellow, amber, and red in color cubes. So that tells you that there are some anomalous activities going on. Like I mentioned earlier, it is very interactive, so you can actually hover over it, you'll get some information, you can click onto it, you can see exactly the subnet, the network, and the number of devices within as well. And if you zoom in even closer by clicking onto the cube, you get to see the actual network in 3D as well. All right, so moving back to home again, we have other key features. So just a second, this is taking a little while to load. On top over here, we have something called the Omni search bar. And basically, you can type in anything to search and take a look at what's going on in your network. So you can search by a device, say a Samsung device, or you can search by an employee's name, or you can even search by IP address to take a look at what's going on to this specific IP. All right, and at the bottom of, on the side over here, we have a couple of numbers, right? And over here, you see close to 1.4 million pattern of lives. So when we talk about pattern of life at Darktrace, it's about holistically understanding every single connection that's being made within the network. So it could be like how one pattern of life could be like how this laptop is interacting with the server. That's just one example. So for this organization itself, it has close to 1.4 million pattern of life, and it's just humanly impossible to be monitoring this 24/7. All right, and that's why you should leave it to Darktrace AI technology. And also, this all works in real time. You can see the devices count and the subnets as well. So if you have a new device that's connected into the network, you'll be able to see the change in device count here as well. So I think without further ado, let's jump into the demo, and I'll show you how you can triage certain alerts, and it will show you better on what kind of visibility we can provide you as well. In the first demo, we will demonstrate the value of Darktrace approach when discovering a targeted attempt at data theft in its earliest stages. So the story begins when a HR manager named Maria Flores at a global semiconductor company. She just returned from an extended trip, and her corporate laptop has apparently been infected with a fast-moving automated strain of malware, possibly because she clicked onto a bad link, or either maybe she has plugged a compromised USB stick into her laptop. All right, so Darktrace was able to identify the first signs of the threat as soon as Maria re-entered the corporate network, when her device suddenly started beaconing out to a highly unusual domain, which was very likely a command and control server. So if we fast forward a little bit into the threat visualizer over here, just give me a second, right? We can see that this beaconing was soon followed by suspicious scanning activities over here. As the device followed by suspicious scanning activities, the device rapidly starts connecting to a range of internal devices which breach additional models in Darktrace. All right, so then if we fast forward yet again, just give me a second. Go over here. We see a bit later that Maria's laptop eventually managed to make its way to a sensitive file server. And we can see in real time, the device rapidly enumerates internal files and go through the directory. All right. Searching for interesting data, and we can see it accessing a file called users, which is right over here, and which might contain a lot of passwords as well. All right. So after this, we can see that the device is making an unusual data upload to a rare IP address in China, which Darktrace flagged as highly anomalous given the pattern of life of the device, the user, and their associated peer groups. So, but the attack doesn't stop there. What we're about to see is an unusual login. All right, just a second. To Maria Sa's account from the same China IP address. And while Maria is still carrying on with her normal activities in the background, we see another breach of unusual SAS sensitive file access over here, indicating an attempt to access high sensitive files. Example like customers, details, market infos, deployment schedules, budgets, etc. So we can speculate that the attackers had initially gotten hold of the files that actually contain passwords, including the login credentials of Maria's SAS accounts, and then uploaded those to an IP address in China. Then they were able to log into Maria's SAS account with the ultimate goal of accessing and stealing data from her highly sensitive cloud account. So thanks to Darktrace unified real-time coverage, both the cloud and on-prem corporate environments, all of the unusual behavior was flagged instantly by Darktrace AI. So the beaconing, the scanning, the exfiltration behavior, as well as the unusual login activities in Maria's SAS account could all be followed on the threat visualizer as they occur for a unified view of the incident. So that is the first demo that I've showed you. In the next demo, we'll see how Darktrace was able to autonomously interrupt a disgruntled former employee attempting to steal sensitive data in the cloud. So this disgruntled former employee Henry Jones, who has just been fired from his position as a sysadmin at a large retailer. In the threat visualizer, we've gone back in time to the day that he was let go. And just give me a quick second while I open that up. Right, click onto the magnifying glass over there. And immediately you can see this 3D visualization here. So the green halo actually indicates that Antigena, which is our autonomous response technology, has stepped in to neutralize the potential threat. So as it turns out, the retailer had been forced to make a series of redundancy in the office that week. And in the chaos of letting people go, they had forgotten to take Henry's laptop and delete his corporate account. When he returned to the office to clear his things, Henry seized the opportunity and logged back into his SaaS account. So upon logging in, he quickly downloaded as many sensitive files as he could and eventually attempted to exfiltrate as many valuable data as possible. But before doing so, he created a new dark account to give himself a backdoor, ensuring that he could still have foothold in the company when the IT team eventually got around to shutting down his corporate account. And Darktrace dynamically analyzes logins and file access events in corporate and cloud services, correlating them with learned pattern of life for every user in the organization in light of new evidence. So as a unified self-learning system, Darktrace AI immediately picked up on the unusually large files download, the new account creation, and the attempted exfiltration. And because the organization had Antigena deployed, the attempted data theft was neutralized within seconds. All right, so now I'm going to open the events log over here. Okay, and we can see that all of this happens in a threat visualizer by going back in time and watching the event unfold. All right, if we look here, we can see that Henry has been rapidly downloading just about every sensitive files in the organization, right? Like contact lists, files, credentials, and a lot more. And all of this has triggered alert, including the unusual SaaS sensitive file access over here. All right, and let me just fast forward a little bit to here. And shortly after that activity, we can see that Henry has been creating the new account for the backdoor just before trying to exfiltrate the data. And in attempting to upload the sensitive files, we can first see Henry try to send them to a personal server at home, but Darktrace immediately alerts to this. And Henry was persistent and continuously sought to exfiltrate the data to several other sources. However, because Antigena can dynamically adapt to the threats as they unfold and escalate its response in kind, it was able to surgically interrupt Henry's malicious attempt at every single turn. And after attempting to send the files to his personal account, Henry sought to send them via several external files transfer services, but Antigena again surgically interrupts every single connection, escalating its response as it gains a more holistic understanding of the attack. Henry then tries to transfer all of the files to an internal server he used to use at a company, attempting to send the files out from there. But Antigena once again stepped in and neutralized that connection as well. So in the end, Henry wasn't able to steal any data, thanks to Darktrace's ability to adapt to the changing threat and intervene with proportionate response in real time. So by grounding its enterprise-wide coverage in understanding the pattern of behavior, Darktrace can detect and respond to novel threats, even if they are unique to your business or if insiders are other perpetrators. So the enterprise immune system not only detects the subtle hallmarks of an attack and surface high-fidelity anomalous activities for investigation, but also automatically investigates them with cyber AI analysts. So over the past 3 years, we've been monitoring how our own expert analysts investigate security events detected by the enterprise immune system, tracking every single click with their consent. By accumulating this massive data set and combining it with various forms of proprietary AI and machine learning, we've been able to create the world's first AI technology to replicate human investigation at speed and scale. So in practice, this means that every security event surfaced by the enterprise immune system triggers cyber AI analysts to launch into an enterprise-wide investigation. It automatically stitches together disparate security events into a single security incident and then communicates the full scope of the incident in the form of a very concise, digestible narrative that can be instantly shared with the relevant stakeholders in the organization. So crucially, cyber AI analyst is not just replicating human tasks, but also going beyond the human. So even the world best security analysts are limited. They have to sleep, they have to eat, they have to take breaks, they only work 9 to 5, they have to wait for queries to be finished, and they will often cut corners when they're under pressure as well. So cyber AI analysts can transcend this limitation and operate at the speed and scale that no human ever could. It could crunch dimensional data, generate thousands of queries at machine speed, and investigate all of these parallel threats at once to dramatically reduce time to meaning in the context of a fleshed out security event. So I think let's take a look into the threat visualizer, and I'll show you how the cyber AI analyst works. So in this scenario over here, the business has been hit by a destructive ransomware attack, a worming attack, and things are burning, right? But when you don't even have 20 minutes to triage the alert and stitch it all together and find the bits and pieces, you just need consumable, actionable output right away. And instead of going into the threat tray at the bottom over here, right, you can actually just click onto the brain icon on the bottom left-hand corner, and that's where the AI analyst incidents appear. So the case study that I was telling you about, the worming attack, is this particular incident here. If I click onto it, all right, you'll get to see it in action. So it's great that the AI analyst does all of this heavy lifting for you. But even at this stage, an incident responder would still have additional questions like, who is patient zero? How did this start? What's the method of command and control that's being employed? Or what other devices have been infected? And how did it move laterally as well? And you need to find the answers right away, as soon as possible. So this AI analyst is the perfect tool. All right. So first of all, I'll click the TCP scanning of multiple devices, as you see here. And the scanning activities here show us that this was the source device. So we definitely, the source device over here. So we definitely know that that's the patient zero. And this is where all the activity started. All right, and it automatically tells you how many devices it's been scanning as well. So 503 IPs over here, what kind of port range it's scanning, and the key ports as well. And usually when you see port 445, you kind of know that it's some SMB activity or SMB related activities. All right, and then you would want to know the lateral movement method. So I click onto the second tab over there, and right on a silver platter, we see the exact malware extracted from all of the different logs and data in the background. You don't need to drill into advanced search or anything like that. All right, so it's over here, the file name, just right on a silver platter. And the most importantly, and this is the bit where we'll really drive home the point about going beyond the human, it's that the cyber AI analyst is able to show you the command and control traffic. All right. So Darktrace detected the command and control traffic and said, well, danger host XYZ over here is the command and control domain. And it used this URI HTTP GET request with a JPEG at the end. Okay. And it also used this user agent over here, Mozilla 5.0. These are the things. These are all of the things that an expert human would look out for and analyze to answer additional questions that you would want to know as a business and as an incident responder, like who else is infected and are there any other command and control channels. So to answer all of those questions, the human expert will actually go down several routes. So they would look at other .xyz domains from this device. So right over here, all right, to show the devices, and maybe from the last week or the week before to see if any similar domains were touched upon. And they would take this command and control URIs with the .jpeg and create a regex regular expression and look across the entire network. And they would take this information, ask questions, interrogate the data, and find more intel. They would maybe look at the user agent and go back into the data and look for similar intel as well. But they're still humans, right? And they're limited and can only operate at human speed. So maybe they're tired, or maybe they don't have the time because things are burning and they're getting pressured for results. So they might make mistakes or cut corners, and they might miss something, or the organization might not even have the resources or expertise on hand. So with the cyber AI analysts, right, immediately you'll see the additional endpoint that has been contacted. We let you know right away, and all of these are served on the silver platter again. And because the cyber AI analysts can be everywhere at once and can operate at a speed and at a machine speed and scale, it has already been doing this technical analysis in the background and rapidly found the results that the business needed at high level. It pulled out 5 other C2 domains, all right, and which a human might not have been able to pull out, not just because they might have made mistakes or missed things, but also because there are some subtle differences in, say, cipher suites being used, right, and that a human wouldn't be able to see. All right, so these are the other additional endpoints that's been contacted. And on top of that, the cyber AI analyst shows us all of the infected devices on the silver platter here. So not just saying that these devices connected to the danger host, but that all of these devices had similar communication patterns to any of these C2 domains. And this is the full scope of the infection, right? So what this means is that you don't require an expert or highly technical person spend valuable time to action this for incident response, because all the technical translation work has already been done for you in a very digestible narrative that's only a few clicks away. And with that said, within the threat visualizer itself, you can also download the incident report over here. You just need to type, say, report and generate report, and all of this information will be downloaded into a PDF file. So thank you everyone for your time. I hope that that little short demonstration that we had on the threat visualizer was insightful and you have a better understanding of how the Darktrace Cyber AI platform works. Well, with all that said, I think the best way to evaluate our AI is to see it working in your own environment. So to do this, we offer a 30 days free trial, which we call proof of value. And this allows you to see the benefits at first hand and actually interact with the technology yourself to find and stop the threats. So the good news is that this is very, very easy to get it up and running. We can do this virtually via the cloud or in a hybrid model or with the hardware. The setup typically takes just 1 hour, and a dedicated cyber technologist will be there to support you throughout the entire process as well. So what you will get out of this proof of value is a full visibility of your selected environment, and we will present our findings to you on a weekly basis as well. We will also use these meetings to make you more familiar with some of the broader benefits that comes with using Darktrace platform. So what I guarantee is that after starting this POV, this proof of value, you will find value immediately and see results within days or not weeks. So if this is something that you're keen on, then please feel free to drop us an email and contact us. And thank you so much for your time again.